Hello, hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your 2018 overview reading. This is good for you if you are Sun, Moon, or Rising Aquarius. And stay tuned at the end. I'm offering a new service. So if you've been looking to work with me or you want to treat yourself to a little reading, I am going to talk about all that at the end. If you don't like that I talk when I'm shuffling, you can fast forward. I don't care. And if you're looking for a 2018 love reading, then go sign up for my newsletter because I am going to be sending those out towards the end of December. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Let's see what Paulina Cassidy has to say for Aquarius. Communication. Effective communication builds a deep bond grounded in common trust and understanding. Sorry, I am so shaky right now. I just had coffee. So this is going to be a big year for your third house and your throat chakra. Check out what transits are going on in your third house. Or what's going on in Gemini. So go ahead and take a look at your natal chart and just see what's going on in that sector of your astrological forecast. I don't do all that, but I'm just getting the message like, okay, communication is the first message that we've received. So go ahead and take a look at that. All right. And an affirmation card for you this year. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. Okay, so this is, and all of these affirmations are kind of under that same umbrella of good things are supposed to happen. Good things are supposed to be in your space and help you out. You know, God has, or the universe, divine source, absolutely has your best interest in mind. And so it's like, if you can remember that throughout 2018, it's going to make it a lot easier on you. So if things aren't working out, if you are able to get yourself to the point where you can look at setbacks, stalls, or things just not coming to fruition as a blessing, and it's actually pushing you in the right direction, you're gonna have such an easy time with 2018 if you can get yourself there. But yeah, I mean, that's something that takes practice. So don't beat yourself up if you can't, successfully just be like, oh, I'm just gonna be positive and understand that I'm being helped at all times. That's not a realistic thing to do 24/7, but as much as you can will help. Oop. Okay, I guess I'll put two there. They wanted to come up together. That'll be interesting. Okay, so I already know this is 6 of coins, but this is you this year. So this is the year for evaluation, that's for sure. This is all about giving and taking, giving and receiving, reciprocation within relationships. Have you been pulling your weight in the relationship? Have you been overgiving? Have you been taking too much? It's really working on restoring balance within your relationships, your communication, your friendships, all of the things that you do in any type of partnership are going to be up for evaluation. So romantic partners, friends, family, all of it. You're going to have to just really put a magnifying glass to all of your relationships and see, is this working for me? So this is, we'll see what's going on with the rest of the spread, but I have a huge feeling, and I'm getting a huge intuitive hit, that there's going to be a lot of people leaving your life and coming into your life this year. Okay, so this is for your health, both emotional and physical. We have Four of Swords, so you're really going to have to rest. And we also have kind of some extra imagery referring to your 6th chakra. And what that tells me is that you're going to have to take a step back from a lot of things and look at where you want to be. If this is something where it, like maybe your goal for 2018 is to improve your physical health through exercise, maybe you need to lose weight, or maybe you need to gain weight. It's just about looking at where you want to be, not the number on the scale, because that's not really a good indication, but just looking at your future self. What are some goals that you want to reach? Do you want to be able to, get into remission with something, or do you want to be able to have the energy to play with your kids, or do you want to pick up an MMA class every week, or it's like, where do you want to be with your health? What do you want to achieve? Do you want to finally do some work around anxiety issues? Like, what is coming up? And then really being able to hold the vision for what you want moving forward. But you're going to have to take some rest, and you're going to have to take a step back so you can see clearly. What you're creating in 2018 is 4 of Coins. So this is, again, you're pulling back. All of your energy is getting pulled back from people, and you're being way more conservative with what you're giving. So that it looks like you're actually creating an environment where you are pulling away from others, and you're kind of contracting for what looks like is going to be a better portion of 2018. You're not going to be in an expansive stage. You're going to be in a contracting stage so that you can do some reevaluation. Okay, what is the core lesson of 2018? 2 of Coins, which is all about what are you deciding to do? How are you deciding? This has been coming up quite a bit, like in terms of how you approach decision making. I'm going to clarify this, see what is coming up. Ace of Swords. So it looks like you are really... You're going to have to do something you've never done before in order to get the results that you want, if that makes sense. So perhaps the thing that you are learning is how to make decisions within relationships and how to kind of adjust your values. But with the with the Ace of Swords, it's about that fresh perspective and fresh idea. It's kind of like the imagery that I'm getting is just like a lightning bolt out of nowhere. You're like, aha, I've got it. I've figured it out. I know how I'm going to make decisions for myself. This looks like it's coming from you. I don't see this as coming from another person who just hands you the solution. This is something where you wake up with clarity on how you want to move forward with your relationship. So it doesn't look like seeking a lot of counsel is going to be helpful. Unless they're a good listener. If they can just listen and reflect to you, then that's the person that you kind of want to utilize. Okay, now this is what needs balance. So with the 9 of Rods, it's about pushing towards your goals. But the interesting thing about this card is it looks like this is a mindset, this is a mindset shift that you need to take. I think that there's a lot of you who are pushing manifestations out really far by using language that is in future tense. And so it's like if you're working on manifesting, or when you're looking at the trajectory of your career or where you want to get, you're seeing it as being like so far away And it's kind of like, what I'm getting from this is you should probably give yourself more credit for what you've been able to create up to this point. And that's actually going to balance out your manifestations and have them come in more rapidly. Okay, your spiritual lesson and focus for the year is Two of Cups. So there's some type of partnership that's teaching you a lot this year. If you're not coupled with somebody, because this obviously rings as a romantic relationship, so if that's true, then yes, it's like you're going to be learning a lot about reciprocation within a relationship that's of a romantic, business, or friendship nature. So either one of those, whether you're dating, single, in partnership, it'll apply to all of you the same. That this spiritual growth is going to come from relationships this year, through and through, which we already saw at the core of the spread. So that is both the state that you're in and the spiritual lesson for 2018. This is what you need to raise your permission level on. So what you need to do, what you need to give yourself more permission to do is judgment. So making the big decisions, making the tough calls is, it's liberating, but it can also be really uncomfortable. So just be prepared for that. I might clarify this, but I want to see what else is coming up before I speak more to this. Your romantic life in 2018, we have Justice. So again, we have like big decision making, reciprocation within the relationship. It's like there's a deep need for balance, and if that's not there, it's gonna hit hard. Okay? Or I'm also getting a lot of you who are in caretaker, and it's like the any of you who are dealing with dysfunctional cycles, which is really common in relationships, but if you're in like a victim abuser relationship, if you're in any type of like caretaker and the person who is like sick or needs caretaking and needs healing, if you're in a really unbalanced relationship, you're going to be confronted with a lot of big decisions this year, because the final judgment is like the last straw. It can be like, it can be about setting boundaries, or it can be about, this is the final cut, like this is the final moment. So it's going to go either ways, but just consider that in your romantic relationship specifically, if you are in a severely unbalanced relationship, then it's really going to be more intense than if you're in a relationship that's pretty good for the most part, isn't really a big deal. But if anything is hiding or lurking under the surface, that's going to come up this year. So it's all for the best. Okay, this is what's transforming for you this year. Mother of Swords, so this is totally the way you think. All about mindset, perspective, the way you push towards your goals, and the way you view independence is going to be changing. The way you view freedom is changing. I'm going to go ahead and clarify the Judgment card now that I pulled Justice in that position. Okay, the Fool. Right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, like, this is about you have to be okay with moving on. You have to be okay with starting new. You have to be okay with initiating. You kind of have to be okay with jumping into the unknown, even if you can't see where you're gonna land yet. And so there's definitely going to be some potent decisions where you're going to have to take a big leap, and it's going to be scary. It's liberating and terrifying and wonderful, and it's pushing you in the right direction. But the Fool and Judgment and Justice, it's not an easy set of cards to deal with. I will say that, especially if we're talking about any type of relationships, and relationships are the core of your year. More so than anything else, it's about evaluating relationships and learning from them for the good and the bad. Especially since we had this affirmation card, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. If you're in an abusive relationship and you're not in a loving partnership, you're gonna see that this year, and things are gonna conspire in your favor. Okay. And the outcome for 2018, we have Mother of Wands. So I see this as you maturing. In the same breath, this is going to be where you're really conservative. Still by the end of the year, it looks like you're a little bit nervous to invest in other people and other relationships. I think that this is really touchy right here. I think that this is going to be the super sensitive spot. Your spiritual growth can be really excruciating. But I promise you, if you can hold on to the idea that you are being pushed in the right direction or led in the right direction, that it's going to make it a lot easier. And that was one of the first things that came up, is you have to trust that you're gonna walk away with the right mind. And the other thing that I'm seeing is the Mother of Swords is an independent card, and the Mother of Wands also has, in this deck at least, has an air of independence. If you just think about like the wisdom that comes from the snakes symbolically. But if you can see, she looks possessive over her energy, over her eggs, the things that she's created and brought into the world. And so it just looks like your ability to be in relationships is going to be really raw and exposed this year. Don't let that scare you, because it's a huge year for you. Huge, huge, huge. Okay. And then I'm going to get started on the timeline. We're going to do it by quarters as usual, but it's going to be fluid for all of you. Okay. So for the first quarter, we have employment change. Now, this could be, again, you're being guided to better things. So sometime in the first quarter of the year, this is going to be your, you could be getting a promotion, you could be moving stores or locations, you could be changing positions or working in a different department, you could be, it's just some type of change that's going on in the way you make money, a new business idea. It's kind of like just the change of how you're making money, or in what capacity you're making money. So this could even be something as simple as a raise. Your growth period, receiving frequency. So again, we have this introspection and evaluation, really sinking into a meditative state and listening to your heart, listening to your body is going to be really helpful. And I'm gonna briefly touch on romantic relationships, but if you want the full thing, sign up for my newsletter and I'll send you like the big love reading. Okay, we have the Star, beautiful connection. This is like because this is the soulmate card, right? So it just looks like it's a really healthy, it just looks vibrant. It looks clear. If you're dating, you could have someone come in who you have a soulmate connection with. If you're already coupled, it just looks like smooth sailing for the first part. But you have to remember you're pulling back. So when you're pulling back your energy, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to receive the right information, and then just be clear on what. And it looks like there's a little bit of distraction with work too. So it looks pretty easy in this first quarter. Second quarter, we have abundance mindset. So making sure that in every area of your life that you're taking a mindset of, I'm in a state of abundance. I have so much. Look at what I already have. Practice gratitude. Look at the connections that you have. Look at the food that you have in the fridge. Make it a blanket statement of, look at how much I have. And then that's going to really open things up to you receiving more. And again, if you think of your abundance as something that happens in the future, then it will always be one day away from you. That's what I was saying about this. Is you can see it's kind of like, if you're looking at it from this perspective, it's like, oh, well, this is way up here. That's going to take forever to get there. So if you can change that to, wow, I've really accomplished a lot. Look at how I'm on the right path, or however you're going to phrase it for yourself is going to make it a lot easier on you. Okay, growth period. Chakra love. So this is when you would be, if you have a practitioner that you enjoy working with, whether that be me or an acupuncturist or someone that you like, even a therapist in certain circumstances, but it looks like energetic healing during the second quarter is really going to benefit your body, and it's going to really just realign you and recalibrate you. I'm also getting a hit that it's going to help with manifestation big time. So this would, the second quarter is the time that it would be best to do some energetic work with a practitioner. And in your love life, we have Ace of Chalices. Okay, so this could be where maybe you have a soulmate come in, and then you actually have the initiation of a new relationship. This is also great for if you're in partnership. It looks good. It looks clear and healthy. And again, I just want to throw out there that this is not this is not going to be true if you're in a particularly toxic relationship. But generally speaking, like the collective energy for Aquarians is that this looks good. Again, smooth sailing, like you have a soulmate connection right at your fingertips or already in your space. And so it just looks easy. That's been coming up quite a bit this year. Is like romance is easy. And in numerology, this is a 2-year, which is all about partnership. Third quarter, we have detox your friendships. What'd I tell you? What did I freaking tell you? Everything is up for evaluation. Your abundance flow is being affected by the people with whom you're spending time, so be discerning about your associations and relationships. Choose to be with people who are inspiring, generous, and supportive. Okay, so banish the crappy people. Then we have think with your heart. Again, really listening. We have that receiving frequency at the beginning of the year, and it's just you're sinking into being able to do that more and more. In your romantic relationships, we have 3 of Wands, so good things coming in. This looks really easy and enjoyable. It just looks, you look good to go. If you're dating, maybe this is a fire sign coming in. Because that's the 3 of Wands. This looks like it could be a Sagittarius or Aries coming into your space. And we have clean energy food for the 4th quarter. When you fuel your body with a healthful organic diet, you increase your energy levels and ability to focus. It leads to more efficiency, better ideas, and a higher vibration, which attracts golden opportunities and beneficial relationships. Okay, we have relationships coming up again. And it has to do with how well you're taking care of your body. So especially getting into the season of temptations and spending time with family. And, during that 3rd quarter, it really is going to be about you being mindful. And then we also have responsibility. So this is where you go back to thinking about yourself and taking a hard look at the things that you need to get done and where are your priorities. And in your relationships, I have 8 of Chalices and Temperance. Okay, so with the 8 of Chalices, if you can see this, it's like there's some resistance that's coming up. Or this can also read as a change in perspective because of how this card is and this deck, it's like some of you are going to deal with either equilibrium in your romantic relationship, or it's just going to be like there's some transition that's happening either in your mindset or in your decision for partnership. So I think that's why these two came up together, because at the end of 2018, Aquarians are going to be either making a decision, are we working this out? Are we going to achieve balance within this relationship, or is it time for me to go? So it's one of those two. This is like, again, I'm going back to this. Are you committing further, or are you deciding to leave? Like, that is a huge thing that is going to be coming up for Aquarians. Okay. Let's see. Three card pick time. Pick a card, any card, whatever resonates. Card number 1, the gift. This is, the words that come up are manifestation and unpredictability. So it's being comfortable with the unknown. And again, it's sitting on top of the Fool. So it's if you're able to hold on to the idea that you can manifest more things, better things, brighter things, and that you're being guided in the right direction. Don't ignore your intuition for sure. Watch the things that your brain is telling you. What else is coming through for this? It's kind of a weird, I don't know, there's something else about an opportunity too that's coming through. Because this is just a bonus card. It's not actually, like, it doesn't have any traditional tarot meaning. It just looks like you're going to have the arrival of something. But it's all about what are you manifesting. Okay, card number 2, the Tower. Serious change coming up for you. This is like the cleaning house card. Like, and it's sitting on top of the 6 of Coins. So this is where your relationships are going to get, seriously evaluated, and what needs to go is going to go. Card number 3, Judgment. Again, this is decision making. Do I sit? Do I stay? Do I go? Do I move forward? Do I work things out? Do I stay at this job? Do I leave this job? It's just like the temptation of walking into something new is going to make itself evident, and you're going to have to decide whether or not that is in alignment with you or not. So you're going to have the big decisions coming up, especially in relationships, because we have it sitting next to the Star, the 2 of Cups, and these are mirroring each other. So just breathe through this year as much as you can. And again, if you're like, if you're freaking out about the love reading, then sign up for my newsletter, because then I'll do the full thing and I'll go more in depth, and it'll be sent to your email towards the end of December. So go do that if you're interested. And the other thing I would like to let everyone know is I'm now offering a 3rd option to work with me. So if you want to get a spread done, a custom tarot spread, then I am now offering that. It's less expensive than working with me one-on-one. So if you want to treat yourself to a reading with me, it now gets delivered to your email, and I'm including a voice memo so you can hear me explain all the cards to you the way I do in this video or these videos. And Yeah, it gets sent with photos. And then if you purchase it now through the end of January, I'm also going to be including a surprise oracle or angel card in every reading. So just whichever deck is calling to me, where, then I'm going to include a photo of that and a description, additional messages, and that's going to go away at the end of January. So if you want to take advantage, I would do it now. And yeah, if you want to work with me one-on-one or you want a single question reading, it's in the description box below. All of my links are in there. The decks that I've used are in there. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram because I have lots of content on there. I hope you have a fabulous 2018, and I will see you next time.